Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the 2022 Best in Class Awards. My name's Neil Hetherington. I have the awesome privilege of being the CEO of the Daily Bread Food Bank. And we are terribly grateful for you. Each one of the partners that are here today, we are here to honor you. And the Best in Class Awards recognizes individuals and organizations who have demonstrated extraordinary commitment to Daily Bread and who share our vision of a city where nobody has to turn to a food bank. We are nowhere close to that vision being realized right now with numbers that are coming out. And we're going to talk about that later tonight. But what you have done to feed the immediate need has been extraordinary, and we want to honor that. I'm thrilled to be on stage co-hosting this with Gurdeep Ahluwalia. You know him from CHFI 98.1 or maybe CP24. Really grateful that you're here tonight.
Thank you very much. Yes, yeah, we don't talk about CP24 anymore. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's okay. No beef, it's all good. Neil, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be up past my bedtime. Like, I host in morning, so what is it, 6 p.m.? This is normally when I'm out. So thank you for having me out here. Neil, you and I have spoken many times over the years on CP24. You and the Daily Bread now have a home with CHFI. Anytime you need, we would love to have you on and talk about whatever causes. I know the need right now is immense, and we'll be getting into that a little bit later. But I'm just really flattered to be a part of this. I'm flattered to be part of a show called Best in Class, because I never experienced that in school. So Mom is proud. I'm now the best in class here with you guys. So it's going to be a great night. Eat, get some drinks. If you guys are posting on social media, the hashtags are up on the screen. Hashtag Daily Bread Food Bank, hashtag Best in Class Awards 2022, and of course, hashtag End Hunger. They're up right now. Neil, you want to add anything?
Yeah, what I would love to do is the chair of our board of directors is turning 40. And so he's on a man trip with all of his guy friends in like Wyoming or something, fishing.
Wyoming?
I think it's Wyoming.
Man trip to Wyoming?
Who wouldn't?
That's where they use their bullet?
That's where they're going. So but he is here with us. And I think we're going to play a video of Ben Wise, the chair of the board of directors, who's now older.
Thanks, Neil. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for sharing your time with us this evening. We are humbled and grateful to be here with you. I'm sorry that I'm unable to join you in person this year, but I'm thrilled to welcome you virtually on behalf of the board. At last year's awards, I shared that we had never before experienced such a spike in demand for our services. Sadly, the numbers continue to go in the wrong direction. To provide context, in 2019, we saw around 68,000 client visits per month to food banks across our network. This past June, this figure soared to over 171,000. If we continue along this heartbreaking trajectory, it is predicted that we will see approximately 1.6 million client visits to food banks in Toronto this year and 2 million in 2023. COVID continues to impact communities, and the challenges facing so many families in our city have been further exacerbated by inflation and the rising costs of food, gas, and housing. But through it all, the city has stood by our side. Volunteers, farmers, corporations, foundations, individual donors, and our member agencies across Toronto continue to stand with us. Tonight, we honor some of these incredible supporters. Before we continue with the celebration, I'd like to pause to acknowledge that we are situated upon traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. Today, the meeting place of Toronto is still home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples from across Turtle Island. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. Thank you again, and congratulations to this year's nominees and award recipients.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Wyoming looks like a wild time, doesn't it? Like, Ben is, yeah, that's maybe not where I'd use my free pass, but to each their own, I guess. Ben, thank you. Thank you, Neil. Look, Ben just sort of articulated the need there. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It is real, and unfortunately, it does sound like the situation's probably going to get worse before it gets better. But this evening, we are here to celebrate. There is a ton to celebrate. Not only are we expressing our gratitude for the collective contributions of the city in supporting those who are unfortunately, living with and experiencing hunger every single day and poverty, we're also recognizing the efforts, as Ben touched on, the exceptional efforts of the top nominees in 9 categories, including one that's new this year. This is an opportunity to highlight the outstanding commitment shown by individuals and organizations, some of who are in this room, in alleviating hunger and poverty in Toronto through a number of avenues, right? Volunteering, corporate social responsibility, workplace fundraising, there's community engagement, and crucial, food bank and frontline services as well, right? Where the rubber meets the road. Right now, without further ado, let's get to our first category of the night, if you check out the video screens.
The Harvest Hero Award recognizes a local farm that has significantly alleviated hunger by donating fresh fruits and vegetables to those in need. The Harvest Hero has made an extensive effort to reduce food waste by redirecting surplus produce to low-income communities across the GTA. Here are this year's nominees. A new donor in the Farm to Food Bank program, Rose Family Farm generously contributed over 300,000 pounds of fresh from the farm potatoes to Daily Bread Food Bank this year. This greatly offset our food purchasing cost on this much-needed staple and helped ensure clients had access to fresh produce. Over the past 5 years, our Tyndall Produce has donated cauliflower, cabbages, and other leafy greens from their harvest. Last December, the farm donated over 60,000 pounds of cabbage during what is typically our most challenging month to secure fresh vegetables.
All right, yes, time for the first award. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate the Rose Family Farm as this year's Harvest Hero. I'd like to welcome Trevor and Anya Rose to say a few words. Coming up to the stage. Got to get the jacket on. Yep. There we go. It's the solo shot, everybody. No pressure. He looks great. Well done. Thanks. A man of few words. Cool, 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 cool.
All right, thank you so much, Trevor. And I don't know if Anya's here, but congratulations again. And now it's our second category.
The Food Industry Trailblazer Award recognizes a company from the food industry sector that has made outstanding contributions of most needed food items to our programs. The Food Industry Trailblazer regularly invests in healthier communities by donating essentials to neighbors in need. This year's nominees are: since partnering with Daily Bread in early 2020, Dia Foods has contributed over 30,000 pounds of fresh and frozen products, such as gluten-free frozen pizzas, burritos, cheese alternatives, and desserts. Dia was also instrumental in helping to launch Daily Bread's allergen-free pantry at New Toronto Street Food Bank, including the donation of a new fridge. Etel Pasta committed over 500,000 pounds of pasta and sauces to help Daily Bread keep up with the significant increase in client visits during the COVID-19 crisis. And thanks to a unique transportation partnership with the Highland Creek Community Association, the product was shipped to Daily Bread at no cost to our organization. Since 2009, Daily Bread has received weekly donations of excess cold storage product, such as yogurt, dairy, and meats, from Metro Distribution, providing us with staple products that would otherwise need to be purchased.
Congratulations to each of the nominees. I'm really thrilled to present this award to Etel Pasta. So I'd like to invite Michael Marchese, Distribution Manager at Etel Pasta, Bill Yarn, Vice President of the Highland Creek Community Association, to say a few words.
I just want to say a big thanks to the Joe Vitale, who owns Etel Pasta, Canadian-owned company. We did over 500,000 pounds last year. We're going to try to get close to 700,000 pounds or more this year. We're on our way to a really good start. Michael Marchese beside me. Mike and myself started this program a year ago. And I work with an association called the Highland Creek Community Association, which is East Toronto. And the community has been really supportive. And Michael, you've been fantastic. We've done really well. It's been a lot of fun. The insecurity food problem in Toronto is a really big problem. We're going into a recession. I believe we are. I have a trucking company. I can see it. And we're going to work harder on getting more food in here. Thank you very much, Neil.
Thank you very much. Congrats again to all the nominees, Etel Pasta and the Highland Creek Community Association. Let's jump right in to our next category.
The Corporate Leader Award recognizes a company or corporate foundation that has demonstrated a commitment to corporate social responsibility by donating funds, employee volunteerism, and raising awareness of hunger and poverty issues in our city. Here's a bit about this year's nominees. To help us meet the dramatic increase in demand for food bank services in 2021, Cortland Credit donated over $50,000 to Daily Bread. In addition to this financial contribution, the team was deeply engaged with our mission through volunteering and workplace food drives. In October, their team collected more than 1,300 pounds of non-perishable food. A donor for over 6 years, Icon Installation cares deeply about Daily Bread's work in the fight to end hunger. After learning about Daily Bread's new community meal program serving the South Etobicoke community, Icon Installation generously donated the services of their in-house chef to help our kitchen staff on a weekly basis. Since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Yardi Canada Limited has been a strong supporter of Daily Bread. In addition to a generous annual corporate donation, Yardi stepped up to be the matching sponsor of our 2021 Giving Tuesday campaign, which raised over $140,000.
All right, congratulations to all the nominees. Time to announce the winner. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate Yardi Canada as this year's corporate leader. I'd like to invite, it says Wayne Tuck. I'm guessing you're not Wayne Tuck.
I'll just say a couple of words here. Good evening. It's such a pleasure to be here. This is actually a very important cause, and it's close to my heart. And the first time that we took a tour of the food bank down Toronto Street, what a wonderful organization. You know, one of the things I was saying to Neil is that it just felt like an organization that also promotes dignity in asking for help, And at Yardi, we focus on the technology side of housing. However, one of our largest clients, Toronto Community Housing, one of the biggest contributors to affordability, which is a huge, huge topic today. And it's just good to be here. This is a celebration, but I also want to encourage, even going back, we're going to go to our team and say, what else can we do? We'd love to volunteer. We'd love to give our time. And let's do that. So, thank you.
Really well said. Congratulations once again.
So our script says, thanks, Wayne, well deserved.
You don't look like a Wayne.
No, I'm
Pariza?
anyway, deeply grateful. So we're on to the next award.
The Workplace Champion Award recognizes an employee group who has raised awareness about food insecurity by organizing a workplace fundraiser, event, or campaign. The Workplace Champion mobilizes their employee base through innovative and impactful initiatives, resulting in a wider network of people committed to social change. Our nominees are: Hepburn Engineering has been a Daily Bread partner since 2018. Their support has grown each year through a combination of employee fundraising, corporate matching, and food donations. Their most recent campaign in December 2021 generated over $24,000 to support food programs across the city. Since 2009, Click Health and its employees, or Clicksters as they're known, have supported Daily Bread through their holiday fundraising drive and internal Click It Forward giving platform. Click has continuously sought new ways to empower their people to support the causes that are closest to them. And this past year, Clicksters raised more than $35,000 for Daily Bread, the highest single-year total in the campaign's history. Slalom Consulting has been a major supporter of Daily Bread since 2016 through their annual workplace fundraiser. Since the onset of COVID, the team at Slalom has demonstrated innovation by reimagining their campaign each year, first moving into the virtual space, and then using a hybrid model, keeping the best virtual elements of the campaign while safely resuming select in-person activities. The result this past spring was more than $33,000 raised, their highest total since 2019.
Congratulations to each of the nominees. It gives me great pleasure to announce that Slalom has won this award. And if I could ask Caitlin Zator to, there she is, to come on up and accept the award.
We at Slalom are so honored to have been nominated for this award, and it's such a joy to have actually won. This year marks our 4th year that the Toronto team has supported Daily Bread through our Slalom's annual food drive, which is our largest company-wide charitable event. Partnering with Daily Bread aligns really closely with our Slalom values, especially one of our core values that is building and shaping a better future, which I think all of us know that Daily Bread is doing every day in our community. Each year, with the support of our entire Slalom team, we put on a month-long campaign in hopes of knocking out of the park our donations from year to year. So we're so grateful for the support we've had this last year. We were able to raise over $33,000. And we're grateful for the support that we've had from our Daily Bread team, which is Sasha and Neil, who popped onto our Thirsty Thursdays. So thank you so much, and we believe in the impact that Daily Bread makes, and so excited for the future.
Caitlin, congratulations. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. You know, the script here, Neil, says that pause now for fireside chat with Neil. I got to say, this up here does not feel like a fireside chat. The vibe's not right.
Fall is on Thursday, so we're almost there.
Okay, let's change the vibe, shall we?
We'll change this.
Fireside chat. Now, we don't have an actual fire, and we weren't allowed to bring our smoking pipes in here, so you'll have to use your imagination for the rest of the fireside chat, but here we go. Nice cardigan, my friend.
And likewise.
Wait, do you have a pipe?
I brought a pipe.
I thought we weren't allowed to bring pipes.
Bring a pipe.
All right, I guess we're sharing pipes. No COVID. Here we go. Look, you touched on it.
It's on. We're all good.
There we go. Neil, I know you touched on it just off the top there, and you and I have talked about it on my show a couple months ago. The numbers right now are absolutely staggering. Could you dive into some of the numbers Daily Bread is dealing with, and maybe just give us some context as to what that means on a daily basis?
Sure. So Ben mentioned some of the numbers, and regrettably, between videotaping his address and today, the numbers have gone up another 10,000. So pre-pandemic, the group of Daily Bread and each of the agencies all across the city, we were servicing about 60,000 client visits per month. So pandemic happens, that number skyrockets to 120,000, and all of Canada was coming together to say we need to support food banks. But what has happened subsequently since January, in January it was 120,000, between January and today, that number has again shot up to 182,000 client visits per month. It has meant a great deal on the ground. And what it has meant for us is that we've moved from shipping 35,000 pounds of food every single month to Jason and his team shipping out over 100,000 pounds of food every single day. Every single day, about 100,000 pounds of food are going out into the community. And that has been monumental. And so today, there were a number of questions and interviews that had happened with inflation being forefront in people's minds. And one of the things that I reiterated in each of those conversations was just how proud I was to be part of Daily Bread, whose partners, whose donors, whose volunteers have all risen to the occasion to make sure that no matter what the volume was, every single person who went to a food bank got the food that they needed.
180,000 a month, like that. It's really tough to sort of wrap your head around that number and contextualize it. Wow, who's calling me right now? That's not Daily Bread related. That's 6,000 people a day, so it's nonstop. And you talked about the inflation numbers. Those are top of mind. They just came out today. And while if you just look at the headline, it says that inflation decelerated a bit, right? It's down to 7%. That's largely predicated off gas prices being quote unquote affordable, or more affordable than what we've been dealing with the last couple of months. When you're looking specifically at food prices, that's still soaring.
Yeah, so food prices did not decline. In fact, food prices went up again. Diane Dyson, who does our research and advocacy, pulled the numbers today. 10.9% was the year-over-year growth in food prices. But here's what it means to Daily Bread. It means that means more people are having to come to the food bank. And part two, it costs us more to service each of those clients that comes in. Our food budget that the board recently approved was $13 million. And I'm going to give you some context. Before the pandemic, that same food budget was $1.6 million. We have gone from spending $1.6 million to $13 million in the course of 2.5 years.
Yeah, once again, staggering numbers. In terms of who you're seeing at the food bank on a day-to-day basis, maybe people who aren't familiar with the Daily Bread Food Bank, or they haven't been in there, maybe they have a picture in their mind of the type of people that are needing the food bank on a day-to-day basis, but who are you seeing on the ground relying on you every day?
Well, I think it's ever-changing. I often talk about the fact that the individuals who are at food banks are the people that you're sitting beside on the subway or the bus. they're also the people that are sitting across from you in the cubicle. They are individuals who are working, doing everything that we thought, that whole Bill Clinton thing where if you work hard and play by the rules, you'll get by. That promise isn't necessarily true anymore. Individuals who are working hard and struggling to get by, perhaps cobbling together a couple of jobs and don't have benefits, and they need to turn to food charity. So we know the problem. We also know, here's the hopeful thing, we know the solutions, and we are constantly relaying them to government so that we can start to see a decrease in the number of individuals who have to make use of us.
I want to preface this last question for you in our fireside chat by saying, you and your team at Daily Bread, you guys just do awesome work, and I've had the pleasure of meeting your team. Can I just get a round of applause for the team at Daily Bread? When I worked in news, people would ask me sometimes, like, how do you go on the news every morning and you talk about people getting killed and accidents and awful things happening in the world, and then how do you just sort of, when the camera goes off, sort of live your life? And I never really know how to answer that other than to say, well, it's a job, and I guess at some point you learn to compartmentalize. But I wonder for you, you're doing great work, but how do you sort of find hope? Because you're seeing sometimes seemingly hopeless situations every single day.
Bishop Tutu was talking with a famous Torontonian once, and the individual he was talking with said, I'm tired of seeing all the news, the bad news in the world. I've decided to turn off my radio, turn off my radio, turn off the television, put away the newspaper. I'm not going to read the bad news as we're reading every single week. And Bishop Tutu turned to him and said, son, the newspaper is God's to-do list. You need to pick it up every day, read it, and get going. And there is a sense of encouragement, of an imperative there, but it is challenging. Those numbers aren't declining, and so it can be frustrating for a lot of people. I guess I turn to the individual stories of some, perhaps a single mom this afternoon who walked into a food bank for the first time, one of 8,800 new clients to food banks this past month, who got the food that they needed for their kids. And so there's hope in there. There's hope in the fact that each level of government is talking more and more about affordability, which is promising. It means that all four party platforms this past election were talking about disability and raising the rates. And that was the first time in any provincial election that all four parties had talked about raising the rates for individuals on disability. And so there is hope. And I have hope in the people that are in this room. Because each single day they're putting their name on the line to either volunteer or sign a check and make good things happen.
You're an inspiring fellow, Neil. We appreciate that. That wraps up our fireside chat. We do want to keep rolling with the awards, so why don't we roll our next set of nominees.
The Community Leader Award recognizes an individual or group who has raised awareness about food insecurity by creating and organizing a community fundraiser, event, or campaign. The community leader mobilizes support and engagement and shows leadership by creating a network of advocates for the cause. And now for this year's nominees. The Junction Residents Association's vision is a healthy, caring, and vibrant community where all people can thrive. The JRA organizes a large-scale community food drive that has grown to become a well-oiled machine that mobilizes dozens of volunteer street captains. Among our largest community-led drives, the JRA's most recent Thanksgiving and Easter campaigns combined to raise nearly 30,000 pounds of non-perishable food donations. This wonderful model of community engagement serves as a blueprint for other neighborhoods to replicate. The Malvern Onyx Lions Club has been a shining example of kindness in action, engaging their community to collect thousands of pounds of food in support of Daily Bread. They've been a mainstay at our drive-through food drives during the pandemic, always turning up with great enthusiasm and proudly flying the Lions banner. The Old Toronto series is a popular history-focused storytelling platform curated by Morgan Cameron Ross. For the past 2 years, Morgan has encouraged his community of over 500,000 social followers to raise funds in support of Daily Bread during the holiday season. Funds raised by the Old Toronto series community have helped Daily Bread distribute enough food for nearly 30,000 meals for individuals and families experiencing food insecurity across Toronto.
Can I just say that was a quick outfit change for Neil and I, and there we go. This is what Beyonce feels like in between songs backstage. We did it, guys. We got here. Can I just say, by the way, Sasha, you clean up real nice there from the hoodie to, yeah. If we had a runway here, I'd make you walk down it right now and do a little twirl. I'm thrilled to announce that the Junction Residents Association has been selected as a recipient of this year's Community Leader Award. Please help me in welcoming Helen and Mario on stage from the Junction Residents Association.
Who's going to be you two in the middle here? Okay, so you're going to slide in the center there? Yeah. So we have to come this way. Come right to the center here, a little bit more. And then it'll be the photo with the two of us, and then we'll leave. Another one. Perfect. All right, so you one more photo.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Junction Residents Association, we would like to thank the Daily Bread Food Bank for all the hard work that they're doing and for the honor of this award. As Sasha had mentioned, the Junction Residents Association vision is a healthy, caring, and vibrant community where all people can thrive. That's what we thrive for. Insufficient income, precarious employment, and unaffordable housing remain a challenge for many members of our community. We are fortunate to live in an amazing and generous community.
So this is quite a surprise, and one important thing I'd like to do is a shout out to some of the important folks on the Junction Residents Association. One of the community, the community champions, Sarah Clayton, and Stephanie Clayton, pardon me, and of course leadership provided by my colleague Helen as one of our co-chairs. What I also wanted to do was remind everybody how important resident associations are across the city, and what this does for us is sharpen the importance of raising an awareness of food insecurity and just help us develop some social capital. So thank you very much for the recognition. I really appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you, Stephanie, or no, not Stephanie, Helen and Mario. Thank you, and wish Stephanie the best for me. Okay, so we've got our next award, the Outstanding Food Program.
The Outstanding Food Program Award recognizes a community agency in Toronto that has made significant efforts to implement rights-based practices within their program to ensure all clients are served with dignity and respect in a welcoming and supportive environment. The Outstanding Food Program embodies inclusivity with a volunteer cohort that reflects the community they serve. I'm pleased to share this year's nominees. Having served over 13,000 people in June alone, Agincourt Community Services Association continues to run one of the busiest food banks in the city. This year, the team developed a grocery store-style model in a new accessible space. The dedicated volunteer team at AXA is made up of clients and community members who speak a variety of languages. Volunteers at the Avenue Road Food Bank are forever innovating to serve their clients with dignity, respect, and care. The team welcomes community members with snacks while they wait and an area for children to play while clients choose their food. They intentionally recruit volunteers from the community who speak prevalent languages and even have signs translated. The meals served at the drop-in at Parkdale Activity Recreation Center are made with love by Tessa White and her amazing kitchen team. Throughout the pandemic, they have continued to provide both takeaway and indoor service for the most vulnerable members of their community.
Congratulations once again to all the nominees. The recipient of this year's Outstanding Food Program is the Agincourt Community Services Association, AXA. I'd like to invite Lee Soda, Executive Director, up to say a few words.
There you go, ready for
Thank you. I really don't feel right being up here without having both Soraya and Eric join me. Please, come on over. I am so incredibly grateful to be part of this evening, and I am so incredibly grateful that AXA is part of the Daily Bread family. Along with the unbelievable, overwhelming statistics that have been talked about tonight regarding the food insecurity and the people needing to access food in our great city. We have a lot to be grateful for, and the donors and the volunteers and Daily Bread and Neil and all of the advocacy that you do is part of what will lead us, hopefully, out of this. But there is hope. There is hope, and hope lives in this room tonight with all of those who contribute to, by writing those checks and by the volunteers who come every day to do the relentless work of serving those thousands and thousands and thousands of people every day. But it's done with dignity and respect. And we have to remember that just because people are coming because they're insecure, food insecure, there are a lot of contributing factors that are leading them to our door. And together we need to advocate and speak up to make changes so that we can actually combat food insecurity in our city. For this, I am grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, Lee and team. All right, so let's hear about the nominees for our next award, the Profound Community Impact Award.
The Profound Community Impact Award recognizes the leader of a food program committed to increasing food access to underserved communities. The recipient of this award deeply understands the needs of clients and has shown courage and resourcefulness in overcoming barriers to running a large food program. Here are this year's nominees. As lead pastor of Grace Place, Amos Sarwan turned his ambitious ideas into action early in the pandemic to address the severe food insecurity he witnessed in his Scarborough community. Now running one of the biggest programs in the city, serving over 14,000 people this past June, Grace Place hosts a multitude of services for clients, from clothing and furniture banks to food deliveries and large community events. After serving on Fort York Food Bank's board of directors for 7 years, Julie Lejeune stepped into the role of executive director this past February. Even though she was serving 3 times the number of clients compared to pre-COVID era, Julie was dedicated to bringing back a more dignified shopping experience for her community. In just a few short months, after 2 years of distributing pre-packed hampers, the team at Fort York made significant upgrades to their small space, allowing clients to shop indoors. Shauna Harris and the resourceful team at Spadina Fort York Community Care currently run 3 food programs in high-need areas. While the agency only joined the Daily Bread Network in January, Shauna has had a huge impact on the people she serves. She has deep knowledge of creating respectful and safe spaces for people navigating complex poverty-related issues and has brought food access to those not often reached by traditional food banks.
Congratulations once again to the nominees. And the recipient of this year's Profound Community Impact Award is Amos Sarwan. Come on up, say a few words.
I'll be brief, and that's why I got my notes. I'm so grateful and blessed and thankful to receive this award this evening. This award could not be possible without the people around me who work tirelessly every day with one goal in mind: to serve and meet the needs of people who are facing food insecurity and living in poverty. So I dedicate this award to them, my team, who are amazing. They are the best. Also, this award could not be possible without Daily Bread Food Bank and its team, and the kind support they have given Grace Place Food Bank and myself. A special thanks to Daily Bread and its team. You're amazing, Neil and the team. I also thank God, Grace Place family, for their support and believing in me and my leadership, and all the donors who support us in such a generous way. Thank you. And finally, I thank God for the privilege He has given me to serve the community with love, care, and dignity. And I forget, thanks to my family, because they sacrifice a lot of time for us to able to do this. Together, we can make a difference in our community. Thank you again. I'm truly blessed and humbled in receiving this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amos. Well said, and congratulations once again. And let's roll right into our next award category.
A new category this year, the Commitment to Equity Award recognizes the coordinator of a food program who demonstrates extraordinary efforts to maintain equity when serving clients. The recipient of this award shows great commitment to building trusting relationships with clients to understand their individual circumstances and meet their particular needs as best as possible. The inaugural Commitment to Equity Award nominees are: Emmanuel Life Management Center has grown tremendously this year, working to formalize their structure as a grassroots organization and increase capacity to serve their community. Janelle Simpson Campbell and a team of volunteers ensure that everyone feels welcome and safe in their food bank spaces. Janelle is dedicated to building trust and understanding the needs of every family she serves. Tabitha Eastman and the team at the Lighthouse have kept up with the need in their community, serving 3 times as many people in their small downtown space compared to pre-pandemic numbers. Staff and volunteers are dedicated to building strong relationships and providing holistic services to best meet individual client needs. Often seen chatting with clients outside their space and taking time to make connections, they work hard to ensure folks feel comfortable coming to them with specific requests so their community needs can truly be met. Through extraordinary circumstances, the drop-in at All Saints Toronto remained open during the pandemic, welcoming unhoused individuals inside to ensure they had low barrier access to critical services and providing takeaway meals to community members. Sanda Kazasik and her team continued to show their tireless commitment to the well-being of their community, fostering a space where everyone feels safe and valued.
So, congratulations to each of the nominees. The winner of, the recipient of the inaugural Commitment to Equity Award is Janelle Simpson.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. I'm so honored for this award. I feel like I'm at the Emmys. So our philosophy and my philosophy and my belief in serving the community, that it doesn't matter where you're from, what culture you belong, what beliefs you might have, what community you may find yourself, and what language you may speak. Food is a universal language and a basic necessity for everyone. I am so grateful to be in a position of giving back to our community, because there was a time when I was in need and I had access to the food bank in my community, and that helped. So I understand the need to be in need. And for this reason, I understand what it feels like when we meet someone at their point of need. When we meet someone at their point of need, that's the breaking point for their story. That's the point of impact that really and truly matters. That is the journey to resilience. Thank you to the team and staff at Daily Bread for the amazing work that they're doing and to allow us, through them, to serve our community. Thank you for the great partnership and the work we're doing, advocating and fighting poverty. And my last word is, let's do this. Let's kick poverty's butt. We can do this.
Well done.
Congratulations, Janelle. Very well said. All right, let's, I believe we're at our last award for the evening. Has it already gotten to that point?
It's flown by.
That is wild. We are actually, I think we're ahead of schedule, which in the history of me hosting events has never happened. I think it's mostly because I host Indian events, which are generally 30 minutes to 4 hours late. This is crazy.
We still have 3 pages, so let's not count our chickens, right?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I jinxed it. It's like talking about a shutout in the second period. No. My bad. Okay, so let's move into our last award for the evening.
The Exceptional Volunteer Award recognizes an individual or group who has demonstrated outstanding commitment to Daily Bread's mission through volunteerism. Our nominees have made a significant impact on donating their time, valuable skills, and expertise. And now this year's nominees. This volunteer shines bright with a heart of gold. Jennifer Johnson began volunteering at Daily Bread at the height of the pandemic, and her positive attitude throughout those years was contagious. Even after returning to work in the media, Jennifer continues to dedicate her time to evening programs such as our community meals and pilot projects. Jennifer is someone Daily Bread can rely on and is always eager to help, even in a pinch. Mark Park originally joined Daily Bread for a 2-month stint to help onboard his brother, who was volunteering as part of a special accommodations program. But those 2 months have turned into 5 years, and Mark doesn't show any signs of stopping. He has smashed attendance records, volunteering for over 200 consecutive weeks without one missed shift. As he often says, hunger doesn't take a break, and apparently neither does he. Nicole Gautier's nickname All-Star says it all. Nicole started volunteering with Daily Bread at the start of the pandemic. She has taken on many roles across the organization. She sorts, picks orders, serves lunch, helps to set up the food bank, and supports special events. Nicole is a leader in every sense of the word.
I mean, round of applause to all the nominees. I kind of hate to pick a quote-unquote winner or recipient in a volunteer category, because just big shout out to anyone who volunteered and donated their time. That's just outstanding. But we are going to recognize one person, especially today, for exceptional volunteer. Would Nicole Gauthier come on up?
Does it matter this one? Thank you. This one? I'll sort out the mic thing first. Okay, well, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this recognition and honor. I came to Daily Bread after losing my job suddenly in late 2019. Without the work routine, I was a duck out of water with no clear purpose. I signed up for a Daily Bread Christmas sort, which was chaotic, loud, fun, and I absolutely loved it. So when the pandemic hit and Daily Bread requested regular volunteers, I signed up and I haven't looked back. Some may see volunteering as a selfless act because we are giving key resources away for free. I, however, see volunteering as somewhat of a selfish act because in my experience, I get so much more back from than what I give. I've met and worked with great Daily Bread staff and other volunteers. I'm able to help others who are in need. I've been challenged to grow in my thinking and understanding around food insecurity, and I found a purpose and a community in which I belong. Whether we call it food insecurity, hunger, or death by malnutrition, there's a universal need for what we do at Daily Bread Food Bank. I personally want to thank those that are in the room today, the suppliers, farmers, community organizations, and businesses who continue to support Daily Bread and fight this food insecurity issue. I'm proud to be a volunteer, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of people and families right here in Toronto. So thank you, everyone, and for those who know me, I'll see you Friday morning.
That was kind of a great mic drop. I'll see you Friday morning. Boom.
This is the most cliche thing I've said in an award show. Those are really heavy, those awards. I was so nervous about dropping that. You get to hold the awards next time.
Well, it's nothing but the finest plastics on those awards. I want those who donate to us, I don't want them going away saying, are those crystal awards? They're not. They're very simple, decent, and affordable, and given with tremendous love. That's the important part. We've heard a lot about the statistics. We've heard a lot of thanks, both from Daily Bread and in some cases to Daily Bread. And tonight is a night to celebrate and also to be reflective of the overall reason why, unfortunately, we've been gathered together. I am tremendously grateful for everyone in this room, and I'd like to say to Gurdeep, thank you. Thank you for volunteering your time, for being here, for being the voice of Toronto every single morning, and just caring about this issue. It's not, you think about a morning show and it's supposed to be comedy routines and lighthearted and all that, but on a regular basis, tough issues are tackled and interviews happen, whether it's about affordable housing or food insecurity, and I'm deeply grateful that you are not only entertaining but educating Toronto. Thank you. I have the awesome privilege of working alongside and for a board of directors that is firmly committed to the right to food. And representing the board of directors tonight is Anthony. Anthony Santilli has been a board member with the organization for, I'm guessing it's like 6 years or so, but let's just go with that. Was I right? Oh, I was right. Oh, okay, I guessed that. Anthony's going to close us out tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. But Anthony, if you would like to say a few words.
Great, thank you, Neil. So we're all here at the end of this wonderful evening where we had the chance to recognize a group of individuals and organizations that have all gone above and beyond in helping all of us address hunger in this great city. I want to congratulate all the nominees and the award recipients, but I also want to thank the countless people that are working effortlessly behind the scenes. It does take a village to address the challenges we have in front of us. It does feel good to be back in-person live events, doesn't it? I think drinking beer by yourself in front of a laptop is starting to get a little bit dry. And my wife is starting to worry. So I want to thank all of you that came out tonight in person with us, and those of you that are virtual. We look forward to seeing more of you next year in person so we can celebrate again. And hopefully the numbers are going in the opposite direction next year. Of course, these events take a lot of effort to put together. It doesn't happen overnight. So I want to extend a few special shout outs and thank yous. Firstly, again, I want to thank Gurdeep as our MC tonight. Thank you for putting this together. I also want to thank all the category presenters that you've seen on the videos tonight. Thank you. Our wonderful musical entertainment, the Michael Ochipinti Trio, I saw a little bit of them, but what I did hear was quite exciting. Our producers, makers, and webcast guru. I also want to thank our generous host, the Great Lakes Brewery, for welcoming us into this fantastic new location, I believe. And then finally, I want to thank the star team at Daily Bread Food Bank that worked tirelessly to put this together. So the team consists of Sam Cook, Sasha Mishna, Casey Lourders, and Natasha Martin. Thank you again for all your help. One final note for all those nominees that will be having the opportunity to take some pictures after the event, so please stick around. Again, thank you again. Have a wonderful evening, and see you all next year.